Hello guys, in this video you will learn how to build microservice with Spring Cloud, and I will create other service for community to each other in this way. And it is simple microservice for beginner, and don't worry about it. I will explain step by step in this video. Now let's start. Step 1. Create employee service. Now I go to Spring Analyzer and I choose Maven for the project, and I input group ID and artifact ID, employee service, and description for manage all information of employee. And I choose var and Java version 8 and dependency Spring Web. I need dependency PostgreSQL driver. I need Spring Data JPA. I need Lombok. I need config client, and click generate. Now open folder or zip and cut it to folder project in my desktop. And extract it. Now I open it on IntelliJ. Click open, find desktop, project, microservice, and employee service, and wait for download dependency in the project. Here are dependencies that we choose for the project. So I need to create database in PostgreSQL. Right click on PostgreSQL and click new database and input database name employee db2 and click OK. And I no need create table on database now. Let's go to next step. Create new repository in GitHub. I open Chrome and open GitHub and new, input repository name microservice properties and click create. And I need to create new property file in my computer and put to GitHub. Now I already define employee service.property, connect to database and config JVA on it already. And now I open Github, Git init, and then add all files in folder to Git and commit to Git. And then I need to remote to our repository in GitHub and I put it to GitHub. Okay, check on Git repository. Now we have property on it. So now I need to create new project, Spring Cloud Config Server on start.spring.io and connect to GitHub. Go to start.spring.io. I change artifact ID to Spring Cloud Config Server and for connect to GitHub. And I remove Progress SQL, JVA Lombok, and config client and add config server for dependency connect to GitHub and click generate. Go to zip file path, cut project to folder project in desktop and pass extract file, and then I open it on IntelliJ, click file, open project and choose Spring Cloud Config Server and wait it download dependency for the project. Here are dependencies that we choose for the project. And next I need to config application.property for connect to GitHub. Let's go to SOC main resource application property. And first I add application name spring.application.name equal config server and add server port 8080 and next define connection to GitHub. spring.cloud.config.server.git.ui and copy URL or repository from GitHub and pass on it and delete.git. Now we need to add annotation add enable config server. For proof it is config server. Now go to Java domain name and click Spring config server and add annotation enable config server. And run project for test. Make sure it is connected to GitHub. Project ready run. Now we no help error on the project. Now make two employee service project and add configure on application.property for connect to Spring Cloud config server project. First, I define spring.application.name employee service and add server port 8080 and config connection to Spring Cloud config server. And define spring.cloud.config.ui equal http ://localhost 8080. It is URL of Spring Cloud config server that we defined before in Spring Cloud config server. Error why? No Spring config import property. Now we need to copy this config property to application.property and pass. Run project again. Now have no error on our project. And go to next step, create entity. Right click on main folder and create new folder, entity, and right click, add new class and employee entity. Add annotation entity, add annotation table, name, employee. Declare long ID and add it to primary key by add annotation add ID and add column name employee ID and add generate auto increment for ID and add string name, add column name, employee name, and more field. Create string gender and add column name employee gender and add new field string email and add column name employee email. Now I already define column in table and add annotation add data for getter setter and add annotation no argument constructor and add all argument constructor and then need to run project again. And now you can see it already create table to PostgreSQL. Let's check in PostgreSQL, refresh. Okay, we have one table in Postgres. And let's go to next step, create repository to community with database. I create new folder, name repository, and create new interface, name employee repository, and I add a notation at repository to prove it repository. Oh, change class to interface and extend from JVA repository, and add employee entity and primary key of employee. Now let's go create service and service implement. Add new folder, name service, and create new interface, name employee service. Before I implement on it, I need to create mapper class for this service. I create new folder, name DTO, and create new class, name employee request, and add an implement from serializable, and add a notation add data for getter setter, and I define field on it. First, string name, second, string gender, and third, string email. It is a field name in entity that we need to require for input data to table. And then I need a new class and add name employee response, and add a notation add data, add no argument constructor, add all argument constructor, and implement serializable. And I define long ID, define string name, define string gender, and define string email. I define the class for response data to client when request complete. Now I need go to employee service. First, I need implement employee find my ID, and need parameter long ID, and respond to employee response. And I need define more for create employee service, and need parameter employee request. And now I need to create new folder IMPL for implement service, and create new class employee service implement service IMPL, and add a notation at service, and implement from employee service. an override method from employee service. And now I need to injection employee repository for you in this service, and add constructor. And now I need to implement on find employee by ID and declare employee entity for get data from employee repository dot get by ID and put ID. And now I need to return entity to entity response.